What's up guys, Dan here, aka Dan Munster from Bloom Corp, and I'm going to give you my review and a tour of the OS on the PlayStation Vita. Now without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on and we're going to go from the home screen. So you've got the time and the date there, slide that across, we've got the volume going here. And we've got your open profiles, what you've been looking at. So I've got my trophies, Uncharted, Golden Abyss, and also Wipeout. That's on the Wipeout game. So on the home screen you've got the Welcome Pack, Party, PlayStation Store. You've also got Near, Friends, Messages, Trophies, Photos and Browser. You've also got the Music, Videos, Remote Play, Content Manager, Maps, Settings, FIFA Football, Uncharted, Golden Abyss and Wipeout. They're the three games that I currently own and I've played on the PlayStation Vita, so that's why they're there. In the top right you've got your notifications, you've got your collector and the live area. That's basically anything that's new to it. In the top left you can see you've got your Bluetooth. I'm going to point to it right there. You've got above you, you've got your trophies for what you've got in the games, and you've also got your home menu. If we go scroll to the right, you've got the Wipeout game, Uncharted, and you've also got the trophies as I've explained previous. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a tour of the settings, and then I'm going to give you a tour of the buttons on the device, give you a tour of the device itself in my version of a review, and then I'm going to sum up all my best features that I find behind this device itself. So one neat feature I do find about this is the flight mode. It means I can take it on the plane when I go on holiday. However, with it only having 5 hours battery life, I do advise you take something else on the plane alongside the PlayStation Vita. You've got the system update, networks, PlayStation Network, application data, sound and display, location data, security, date and time, language, system, format and power saver settings. The location data will only be appropriate when you've got connected to the internet on this model. This is the Wi-Fi model. It does give you a breakdown there of what you can get in the location data. If we're into the bottom and start our way up, you've got the power display. I've got mine after 1 minute to save my battery. You've got the system. It tells you all about the system information, USB, your error history, which is really useful to see if your device has been crashing. It gives you a bit of strength when you go back to a shop and say, well, look at this, my device has been crashing. Or if you're right to Sony themselves. On the date and time, you've got the date and time settings. It's really easy to change it. I have changed mine manually once because I got it from the US and I hadn't connected to the internet yet. So I changed mine manually, but setting it automatically is actually much more applicable and easier. You've got security. I haven't used any of the security features. You've got like the screen lock and the parental controls. Like this is just set a password, so I'm going to cancel that there. And then the screen lock is the same, you just turn this on and then you can lock your screen. It does help if you put it down and someone tries to steal it, they obviously are going to know it's been locked. You've got your brightness settings here. I can go to full brightness or down to minimal brightness. There is a small difference on the camera, you can see there is a bit of a difference. I'm going to turn it down again just because I want to save a bit of my battery life. You've got notification alert, PS button, notification alert sound, system music, and really most of these self-explanatory. I'm going to click the PS Home button here. This is in the top bottom left even. If you click this once, it takes you to the home. If you click it twice, it takes you to almost like a filing format. And when these get filled, you can just scroll through your files. So here we've got currently settings, Wipeout, Uncharted and trophies. Obviously you can see there is much more room for these. So if I was to click the home, it takes me back to this nice little layout here. One neat feature I do love about this is the floating bubbles almost. They could have taken the approach where it's like an app, or like on the iPhone or the Android where you've got the squares, but I do think Sony have somewhat reinvented themselves here by creating the bubble, which actually does wobble every time you go back and forth, or you can stretch it, as you can see there. And they do wobble a bit. I really do like that feature. It is a bit, it's nothing major, but it's just something quite cool just to play around with when you are bored. You got the content manager. This is another launch process. You click on it, but I'd have to close my game. So I'm going to click the game, and it shows you how quickly it can cancel a game that you're playing at the moment. For the content manager, it does give you a list on what you can do. It says copy application, save data and content by connecting to your PlayStation Vita system to the PS3 or a PC. I'm not actually going to do that at the moment, but I just wanted to show you what the options you can do to it. It's just a neat feature of trying to like save your data or back stuff up. It's just really, if you were to think you ever to lose it, it would be devastating to your progress on your Vita itself, so it is quite a neat feature. There's not really too much more to hold with the Sony OS here. It's really very interactive. I really like the system. I'm going to apologise for me going up and down on the camera here. It is quite an awkward angle what I am filming from. I'm going to give you a tour of the front of the screen here and the buttons around it. We're going to start off with the start button in the bottom right, then the select button. Now in between some games the select button does play an interactive role, but generally the start button will just take you to a general menu. Obviously if you click it, start or the select button, neither do anything on the home screen. If you click the PS home button, as you can see it does these two options here. These are quite cool to flick between, so they are quite useful. As said previously, you have got your time in the top corner there. You've also got your bubble which are notifications. If you click more on your notifications, it does bring up a whole tab. And I've only got 2 of them, so it's pretty relevant. To delete something on this, I do really like this. You can click the delete to get rid of all your notifications, so you just swipe down and the panel's gone. So obviously if I didn't want this content manager, you just swipe down. I really like the paper peeling effect, it's really cool. And it's something that actually did make the PS Vita quite admirable for myself. Obviously in the top here you've got your home and all your other trophies, etc. You've got your Bluetooth, and when you are on the internet it does show how connected you are to the internet, i.e. 2 bars, 3 bars, 1 bar. To the right here you've got your traditional triangle, square, circle and X button with your small front facing camera. You've also got your first analog stick with the start and select as mentioned previously. On the bottom left you've got your PS home button, your other analog left, up, right and down buttons, and both here and here where my thumbs are currently, I'll just zoom out a bit there. Where my thumbs currently are here, you've got your volume effectively, so if I was to turn it down on the top, these speakers here would turn down as so. Moving on to the tour of the bottom of the device, I'm going to cover up the serial number there. However, we have got next to my thumb there, you've got the headphone jack and you've got the power port there where you can charge your device. Moving your way to the top here, you've got your volume up and your volume down button. Just here, you have got your micro slot. If I can get it open there, you've got your micro slot there. And in this next one here, you've got your PlayStation Vita cartridge. And currently I have got Wipeout in there. I can take it out because I have quit the game for this. So there's the Wipeout cartridge. They are really small because they are just SD cards. However, I do find they're really nifty and really cool, and obviously you can carry loads of them. And if you've watched my previous video on the review of the PlayStation Vita case, I can fit 8 games and 2 memory cards in there. You've got your power button there, and you've got both your R and L1 buttons. On the back you've got your touch panel. This bit here is the touch panel itself, and this bit here is just nice little rubber grips. Well, rubbery plastic grips that you can get a nice hold of. They sit really comfortable in your hands. Like, my fingers have pretty much sat into those grips, as you can see there, so it's really handy. Also on the back you have got your rear facing camera, which is really good with the cards that you do get with the device. I'm just going to go grab those cards and I'll just show you what I'm talking about, if you haven't already heard about them. No, I haven't used these cards, but I do have an understanding of what they do. Basically you'll put the card on the floor or on the bench or wherever you're using it. You'll point your rear facing camera at it, and for example if you were to be playing a game where a horse for example jumps over a stand, that would create the stand that the horse was theoretically jumping over. The rear facing camera does also come really handy in with games like Street Fighter, I believe it is, where you can face an opponent and you're basically fighting on the ground that you're talking about, which is really sweet. I can imagine the rear facing camera will be focusing on some really good content in the future, and I really do think it will be an interactive part of the PlayStation Vita itself. The weight of the device is really handy. It's really light, and honestly I can't see myself getting bored with this device. I'm just going to scooch back to something I didn't mention before. On the back here below the serial port number you've got this little tab here and there. You've got your memory stick, so I've got, I believe it's a 8GB one in there at the moment. It's really small. It's really hard to take out, so I'm not going to take it out. But as you can see there, it's like the size of my finger. Really, that's all I've really got to say in the PlayStation Vita. I'd give it quite happily a 9.5 out of 10. It will face some competition against the iPad, as people are calling this a touchscreen device, whereas I don't see it will be competing with the iPad. I do have an iPad myself, which is just here. I'm going to bring it forward quickly just so you can see it in the background there. That's my iPad in the background. I do play in it a lot, but I also play on my PS Vita for completely different reasons, and that's why I don't think they will be competing against each other. My iPad's there for practical reasons, my PlayStation Vita there is purely gaming reasons. and I can't really compete the two consoles against each other. The PlayStation Vita, in my eyes, does trounce competition of the Nintendo 3DS, as the 3DS is very gimmicky in my eyes, so I would recommend this over the 3DS any day. I'd just like to say thanks for watching. Obviously, like the video down below if you did think this was very helpful. It really does help us out as a channel. Subscribe, I'll put a link right down below now. Subscribe, and that would really help us out in the future. And also, check out our other videos. We have got over 30 videos now. We are trying to grow the channel to the point where we have many more videos for you to watch. And obviously, comment down below if you have got any comments on this. Again, this was Daniel, aka Dan Munster from Bloom Corp. Thanks for watching and peace out.